Welcome back to Living Local. While many folks don't love talking about end-of-life arrangements, it's one of those responsibilities that must be addressed at some point. When it comes to laying our loved ones to rest, more Americans are choosing cremation over burials for the first time ever, and the trend is expected to rise. Joining us via Zoom today is Isla Hillier. She is with Quad Cities Cremation Center. Isla, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So how long has Quad Cities Cremation Center been around, and how did they get started?
We started the Cremation Center in 2007 just as an alternative for people who don't necessarily want to have a full traditional burial service. It's a very simple, direct cremation. Everything's included in one package price. Very simple for them.
And Isla, when it comes to cremation, we are seeing more Americans opting for this route over the traditional burials. Now, there are several factors that influence this decision, and one of them, of course, is cost. How does the price of cremation compare to the price of a burial?
Cost of a traditional funeral burial can easily be 10 times the cost of our direct cremation. Obviously, it makes a difference what casket is chosen, and cemetery expenses add on to that. And then there's several options that are in between the direct cremation, and then, you could have a visitation funeral and then a cremation, or cremation and then a visitation after, or you can do the traditional thing. So there's a range, in between all of that.
Right, so price definitely being one major factor. Another factor is practicality. Now, more Americans are moving away from their hometowns and family burial plots. How can cremation be an easier option for those folks?
Well, it definitely makes the transportation easier if someone were to pass away from home or at a second home maybe. If they didn't have cemetery space here, it would obviously be easier to have a cremation done where they are and bring the cremains back for services in their hometown.
And Isla, what is the process for setting up cremation services?
You can set them up at the time of someone's passing. Obviously, you can call, make an appointment, come in. We are doing everything online via email or fax if needed. You can also pre-arrange either with just the information or prepay for your cremation at the time.
And speaking of the pre-arranging, what are the benefits of pre-arranging cremation services?
I think the biggest benefit is if you prepay the cremation, you're locked in at that price. So if our prices go up, which they do, you're locked in at the price you paid, so you can be assured that when the time comes, your cremation is taken care of. It also allows you to get all of your information down on paper with us so that your family doesn't have to answer all those questions at the time of your passing.
And what would you say are the advantages of using Quad Cities Cremation Center?
We are local, we are family owned, no corporate fees. We try to make things very simple for people. Obviously our cost is a big factor. We are the least expensive direct cremation service in the Quad Cities. And speaking of cost, you want to make note of what is included in our cremations. If you are price shopping, a lot of places have their base price for a direct cremation, and then they add on all the fees that go along with a cremation. Ours is all inclusive. So that's a big factor for us too.
And Isla, before we wrap up today, are there any misconceptions out there about cremation that you want to clear up for folks?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that one all the way.
Are there any common misconceptions that people should be cleared up on when it comes to cremation?
I don't know if there's common misconceptions. There's a lot of them. It's still a very dignified process. So it's, for people that struggle with, well, they're used to having the traditional burials. I think people are coming around more to the idea of cremation once they're explained the process.
Absolutely. Well, Isla, thank you so much for joining us today and for all of your insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you'd like some more information on its services and resources, go to illawacremation.com. We'll also have those details posted on ourquadcities.com.